What if everything you have been searching for your entire life has been searching for you too? What if the peace you have been chasing, the love you have been begging for, the answers you have been staying up at night trying to figure out are all already on their way to you right now, moving toward you, quietly waiting for the exact moment you stop running long enough to receive them? What if the only reason you have not found what you are looking for is because you never stopped looking long enough to realize it was already here? I want you to think about something honestly. How much of your life have you actually lived, and how much of it have you spent worrying about living? How many sunsets did you miss because your eyes were glued to a screen? How many conversations did you half listen to because your mind was already somewhere else? How many mornings did you wake up and before your feet even touched the floor, your brain was already drowning in a list of problems that had not even happened yet? Most of us do not live our lives. We survive them. We get through Monday to get to Friday. We push through this year, hoping next year will be better. We tell ourselves that happiness is just around the corner, just one more promotion, one more achievement, one more thing, and then finally we will be at peace. But that corner never comes, does it? Because every time you turn it, there is another corner and another. Another. The Buddha understood something about this cycle that most people never figure out. He understood that the problem is not your life. The problem is that you are never actually in it. Your body is here, but your mind is somewhere else, always somewhere else, replaying yesterday, rehearsing tomorrow, and completely abandoning the only moment that is real, this one. And today, right now, wherever you are reading these words, something is about to shift. Because the words you are about to hear are not just ideas, they are mirrors. And if you are brave enough to look into them, you might just see the truth you have been avoiding, the truth that could set you free. Let us start with a thing that steals more joy from your life than anything else: the obsession with tomorrow. You have been living in a tomorrow that does not exist. Think about how much of your mental energy goes to the future. I will be happy when I get the raise. I will relax when the kids are older. I will take care of myself when things calm down. You keep writing checks to a future bank account that may never open. And meanwhile, the present moment, the only currency you actually have, is slipping through your fingers unspent. There is an image that has stayed with me for a long time. Imagine a man who spends his entire life packing for a trip. He folds his clothes perfectly. He organizes every bag. He checks his list 100 times, but he never walks out the door. He spends so long preparing for the journey that he never actually takes it. His whole life becomes about getting ready for something that never begins. How many of us are living exactly like that? Always getting ready to be happy, always preparing to start living, always telling ourselves that peace is just one more step away. But the step never comes because there is always another one after it. The truth the Buddha taught is almost painfully simple. There is no tomorrow. There never was. There is only now, and now is not a waiting room for something better. Now is the entire show. It is the whole thing, and every second you spend wishing it were different is a second of your one precious life that you will never get back. So right now, wherever you are, take one breath, just one slow, deep breath, and feel it. Feel the air entering your body. Feel your chest expand. Feel the quiet miracle of being alive, not tomorrow, not someday. Right now, this breath is not a small thing. It is everything. It is proof that you are still here, that your story is not over, that there is still time, but only if you stop wasting it on a future that does not exist yet. And this leads to something else, something most people get completely wrong about strength. We have been taught that strong people are loud, that power looks like aggression, that the person who reacts the fastest and hits the hardest wins. But Buddhism teaches the exact opposite. The strongest person in any room is not the one who is shouting. The strongest person is the one who does not need to. Think about a mountain when a storm comes. The mountain does not panic. It does not run. It does not try to fight the wind. It simply stands there solid, grounded, unmovable. The storm screams and rages and throws everything it has at the mountain, and the mountain just breathes. And when the storm passes, and form twices and storms always pass, the mountain is still there, untouched, unchanged, still there, untouched, undespondent. That is what calmness really is. It is not weakness. It is not giving up. It is not letting people walk over you. Calmness is the deepest kind of power, because it means nothing outside of you can control what happens inside of you. Someone can insult of you. Someone can choose not to carry it. Someone can betray you, and you can choose not to let it poison your heart. The world can fall apart around you, and you can choose to remain whole. And here is what most people never realize: when you stop reacting to everything, you start seeing everything clearly for the first time. Anger is like mud in your eyes. It makes everything blurry. Fear is like fog. It hides what is right in front of you. But calmness is like still water. You can see all the way to the bottom. And from that clarity, you make better decisions. You speak better words. You build a better life. Now here is another truth that might be uncomfortable to hear. You are holding on too tightly to something, to someone, to some idea of how your life is supposed to look. And that grip, that white-knuckle death grip you have on your plans, your expectations, your need for things to go a certain way, that is exactly what is causing your pain. Imagine trying to hold water in your fist. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it drains away. But if you open your hand, if you just relax and let your palm face the sky, the water rests there gently, peacefully, staying with you, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. This is one of the most powerful lessons in Buddhism. Attachment is the root of suffering. Not love, not caring, not wanting good things for yourself, but the desperate clinging to outcomes you cannot control. The moment you release that grip, the moment you say, "I will do my best," and then trust the rest, something extraordinary happens. The anxiety dissolves, the pressure lifts, and life starts flowing in ways you never could have planned. And I know what you are thinking. If I let go, everything will fall apart. But has holding on so tightly actually kept things together, or has it just exhausted you, has controlling every detail actually given you peace, or has it just given you more things to worry about? The truth is, life does not need your grip to keep moving. The sun does not need your permission to rise. Your heart does not need your instructions to beat the seasons. Do not wait for your approval to change. Life has its own intelligence, its own rhythm, its own timing. And the more you trust that timing, the more peace you will feel. Speaking of timing, let me tell you something about patience. Because this might be the lesson you need most right now. You want things to happen fast. You want the healing. Now the success. Now the love. Now the answers now. And when they do not come on your schedule, you start to believe something is wrong with you, that you are behind, that life has forgotten about you. But have you ever watched a flower bloom? You cannot rush it. You cannot pull the petals open and expect beauty if you force it. But if you wait, if you give it sunlight and water and time, it opens on its own, in its own perfect moment. And when it does, it is more beautiful than anything you could have created by force. Your life works the same way. The things that are meant for you are growing right now, even if you cannot see them. The seeds you planted last month, last year, 10 years ago, they are taking root beneath the surface. Just because you cannot see the progress does not mean nothing is happening. Some of the most important growth happens in the dark, underground, invisible but real. So stop rushing, stop demanding, stop looking at other people's timelines and comparing them to yours. Their flowers are not your flowers. Their seasons are not your seasons. What is meant for you has your name on it, and it will arrive, not a moment too late. But here is the key: you have to be present enough to receive it when it comes, and you cannot be present if you are drowning in noise. We live in the loudest time in human history. There is always something buzzing, beeping, ringing, demanding your attention, and we have become addicted to it. We cannot sit in silence for 5 minutes without reaching for something to fill the space. A phone, a show, a podcast, anything to avoid being alone with our own thoughts. But why are we so afraid of silence? What do we think we will find there? The truth is, silence is not empty. Silence is full. It is full of every truth you have been avoiding, every feeling you have been burying, every answer you have been searching for in all the wrong places. The noise does not protect you. It distracts you. It keeps you running on a hamster wheel of consumption and reaction, so that you never have to stop and face what is really going on inside. The Buddha spent years in silence, not because he had nothing to say, but because he understood that truth does not arrive through noise. It arrives through stillness, like a pond. When you stop throwing stones into it, the water becomes still, and suddenly you can see your own reflection clearly for the first time. Try this tomorrow morning before you check your phone, before you turn on anything. Just sit in silence for 2 minutes. That is all, just 2 minutes. Let the quiet feel uncomfortable. Let your mind protest. Let the urge to grab your phone scream at you, and then breathe through it, because on the other side of that discomfort is something you have not felt in a long time yourself. And while you are sitting in that silence, here is something I want you to think about. The energy you carry changes everything. You walk into a room, and before you say a single word, people feel you. They feel your stress. They feel your calm. They feel your anger. They feel your peace. You are not just a body moving through space. You are a walking broadcast, sending out a signal every second of every day, and the world responds to that signal. If you walk through life radiating anxiety, the world gives you more things to be anxious about. If you move through life carrying resentment, people sense it and pull away. But if you carry peace, if you move gently through the world, with kindness in your eyes and calm in your chest, the world opens up. People soften around you. Opportunities appear. Doors that were locked suddenly swing open. Not because you forced them, but because your energy invited them. This is not magical thinking. This is physics. This is human nature. This is the simple truth that what you put out comes back to you, and you get to choose what you put out every single day. And let me say one more thing about something that quietly destroys more happiness than almost anything else. The obsession with being perfect. You have been carrying this weight for so long, this belief that you need to be flawless to be worthy, that your mistakes make you less than that your cracks make you broken. But the Buddha would tell you something different. He would tell you that the lotus, the most sacred flower in Buddhism, does not grow in clean, pure water. It grows in mud. It rises from the darkest, dirtiest conditions, and it blooms into something breathtaking. Your pain is the mud. Your mistakes are the mud. Your failures, your heartbreaks, your embarrassments, all of it, mud. And you are the lotus, and you are rising right now, even if it does not feel like it, even if you are still in the dark, still underground, still waiting for the light. You are growing, and one day soon you will break through the surface, and everything you went through will make sense, because it was all part of the bloom. So stop demanding perfection from yourself. Stop punishing yourself for being human. Stop waiting until you are fixed to start living. You are not broken. You never were. You are just growing, and growth is messy and beautiful and painful and sacred all at the same time. Let me leave you with this. You do not need more. You do not need to be more. You do not need to chase harder or grip tighter or plan better. The peace you are looking for is not hiding in some future achievement. It is here in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this ordinary perfect moment. The joy you have been postponing is not waiting for you at some finish line. It is woven into the fabric of your everyday life, in the warmth of your morning coffee, in the sound of rain on your window, in the face of someone who loves you. Everything you need is already here. Everything you are meant to receive is already on its way, and the only thing standing between you and the peace you deserve is the belief that you have to earn it. You do not. You just have to allow it. You just have to stop running long enough to feel it. You just have to open your hands, unclench your jaw, soften your shoulders, and let life love you the way it has been trying to all along. Trust the timing. Trust the process, trust yourself, and know that this message did not find you by accident. It found you exactly when you needed it, because that is how life works, not randomly, but with a quiet, perfect wisdom that is always working in your favor. If these words touched something real inside you, if they reminded you of a truth you had forgotten or gave you permission to breathe a little easier today, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Buddhism Focus for more content like this. Share it with someone who is struggling, someone who needs to hear that they are not behind, that they are not broken, that everything they need is already within them. Because sometimes a single message at the right time can change the entire direction of a life. And you never May you find stillness in the noise, peace in the waiting, and joy in the ordinary. May you trust that what is yours will find you, and may you finally stop chasing long enough to let it arrive. Walk gently, breathe deeply, and remember you are exactly where you are meant to be.